Hello students, welcome to Studies on YouTube channel and second part of History and Civics. You might get a picture question, okay? A picture of Bal Gangadhar Tilak or Lord Curzon, or you might get a picture of Jallianwala Bagh Memorial, or any picture related to First World War. So these are the picture questions which we are expecting, okay? Now let us come to the short questions. Number 1. What impact did the uprising of 1857 have on the Mughal rule? Mention any two contribution of Jyotirao Phule in preparing the ground for national movement. State any two provisions of the Rawalt Act passed by the government in 1919. Why was the Simon Commission boycotted by the Indians? Give two similarities in the foreign policies of Mussolini and Hitler. State the significance of the policy of appeasement as a cause for the Second World War. Who founded the Forward Bloc? Mention any one of the objectives. Mention two functions of the General Assembly. What is meant by the term veto power, which is enjoyed by the permanent members of the Security Council. Next, mention any two repressive colonial policies of Lord Lytton. When and where was the first Congress session held? How did the Swadeshi movement give encouragement to indigenous industries? Who started the Khilafat movement and why? When and by whom were the Servants of India Society formed or started? Name the treaty signed at the end of the First World War. When was it signed? Mention two causes that led to the rise of fascism in Italy. What is the main aim of the UNESCO? Name the founders of NAM. When did the concept of non-alignment emerge and why? Name the two forerunners of the Indian National Congress. What led to the split of the Congress in 1907? What is meant by the Swadeshi and boycott? When and why did the Congress ask for Purna Swaraj? Mention the objectives of the provincial government established by the Subhash Chandra Bose. Mention the two causes for the Second World War. Why did the United States of America join the First World War? Name the permanent members of the Security Council of the United Nations. Give the expanded form of UNESCO and who. State the two functions of International Court of Justice. Mention any two repressive colonial policies of Lord Lytton. Why did the doctrine of lapse become a political cause for the revolt of 1857? Name the two main associations that were the precursors of Indian National Congress. In what way did the economic backwardness foster communal feelings in India? What were the results of Gandhi-Irvin Pact? Name the leaders who played an important role during the Quit India movement. Mention any two important reasons that made the Congress accept the Mountbatten Plan. How is the dictatorship in Germany and Italy attributed to be the cause of the First World War? What was the issue between the Germany and Poland that was the cause of the World War II? Who are the permanent members of the UNO? Next, mention two acts against which Srinath Banerjee protested. Mention two objectives of the Indian associations. Give the main factors which prompted the making of the historic Declaration of August 1917. When and why was the Simon Commission appointed? Why did the Congress refuse to participate in the formation of interim government under the Cabinet Mission Plan? What did France gain from the Treaty of Versailles? What did the Mussolini do to solve the problem of unemployment? Mention the two characteristics of Cold War. Name the 6 principal organs of the United Nations. Name the 3 founders of the non-alignment movement. With reference to the UNO and the agencies, explain the following. State the 3 principles of the United Nations Organization. Composition of International Court of Justice. 3 functions of World Health Organization. With reference to rise of dictatorship led to the Second World War, it had a far-reaching consequences on the world. With reference to the above statement, answer the following. Similarities between the cause of fascism and Nazism. Give 3 negative effects of fascism in Italy. Impact of the war on Axis power. With reference to partition of Bengal, inculcated spirit of nationalism, inculcated the spirit of nationalism among the Indians, and it also led to the rise of assertive nationalists. With reference to the above statement, explain the following: 3 contributions of Lala Lajpat Rai, reasons behind the partition of Bengal, impact of anti-partition movement. Next, by organizing the Indian National Army, Subhash Chandra Bose inculcated patriotism among the Indians and inspired Indians to fight against the British. With reference to the above statement, answer the following questions. How was the Indian National Army formed? What was the achievements of Indian National Army? Describe the contributions of Subhash Chandra Bose to the national movement. With reference to the United Nations and its agencies, answer the following. When and why was the United Nations established? What are the main principles of UNO? What are the functions of WHO? With reference to President Wilson's The League of Nations, answer the following. Describe any 4 aims of the peace program of Woodrow Wilson. What were the objectives of the League of Nations? Name the organization formed 1945 with objectives similar to those of the League of Nations. Describe the reasons for the failure of League of Nations. Next, with reference to the First War of Independence, with reference to the First War of Independence, 1857, answer the following. Explain the political causes that led to the uprising of 1857. The First War of Independence of 1857 was the culmination of people's dissatisfaction with the British rule. In this context, discuss about the economic causes. Explain about the discontentment of the sepoys. Next question, with reference to the factors which are responsible for the formation of Muslim League, describe the following, answer the following. Discuss the British policy of divide and rule in encouraging separatist trend in Indian politics. How did the education and economic backwardness of the Muslim led to the growth of communalism? Discuss the role of Sir Syed Ahmed Khan in the formation of Muslim League. With reference to the non-alignment movement, answer the following. What are the features of NAM? State 3 important achievements of NAM. What is the relevance of NAM in present-day world? Next, with the rise of dictatorship in Italy and Germany, answer the following. 3 similarities between the causes of fascism and Nazism. What are the aims of fascism? Explain the impact of Nazism in Germany. With reference to independence of partition of India, answer the following. 3 events that led to the formation of Cabinet Mission Plan. Reactions of the Congress to the Cabinet Mission Plan. 4 provisions of the Indian Independence Act 1947. Next, numerous causes gave rise to the First War of Independence, and its consequences led to several changes in the British government in India. In this context, answer the following. Explain any 3 political causes of the 1857 war. Explain briefly the immediate cause of the war. State any 4 changes in the administration of the British government as a consequence of the revolt. With reference to non-alignment movement again, factors that led to the formation of non-alignment movement, role of Nehru in the non-alignment movement, what are the objectives of NAM? With reference to the First World War and rise of Nazism and fascism, answer the following. Enumerate any 3 causes of the First World War. What were the objectives of the League of Nations? Explain how the Treaty of Versailles was responsible for the rise of Hitler in Germany. With reference to Mahatma Gandhi and the national movement, answer the following. Describe the causes of the non-cooperation movement. What were the main objectives of the non-cooperation movement? Explain any 4 far-reaching effects of the non-cooperation movement. With reference to the promoting the growth of nationalism, answer the following. How did the economic exploitation led to the growth of nationalism in India? Mention any 2 factors that helped in the growth of nationalism. Explain the role of Indian press in the national movement in India. Another question related to the picture, probably I'd get Lord Curzon's pick. So the question related to that might be, what was the reaction of the British government to the Swadeshi and boycott movement? Okay. with reference to the non-alignment movement. State the names of the architects of the non-alignment movement, what is meant by non-alignment, the factors that led to the formation of the non-alignment movement, the role of Nehru in the non-alignment movement. There are several far-reaching consequences as a result of First World War. In this context, answer the following. Explain how the World War I brought about change political scenario in the world. What did France gain from the Treaty of Versailles? How was the war responsible for the rise of fascism and Nazism in Italy and Germany respectively? Next, the Congress Working Committee passed the famous Quit India Resolution in Warda in July 1942. With reference to does answer the following questions. What are the reasons for the passing of this resolution? What was the British government's reaction to the Quit India movement? What was the impact and significance of this movement? Next, social and religious causes were also at work in causing the great upsurge in 1857. In this context, describe briefly. Number 1, religious reform, social reforms, and railways and telegraph. That's it. All the best, guys. Hopefully, this will help you in answering the questions. Okay. All the best. Thank you. Jai Hind.